Hello and welcome to Scarredlands, A Family Affair, episode 25, The Festering Fields, part 2. When last we met, which was 2 weeks ago, we had a little break because the GM overextended himself. So when last we met, you had just, moments before, we ended the game basically with you fighting off a batch of undead who had risen up in the aftermath of kind of this necrotic energy storm in the Festering Fields. Most of you managed to make it through that combat relatively unscathed. However, Tug, one of your horses, was fairly severely injured. Yes?
Yes. Yep.
Is that right? You had fought off a ton of zombies, but you were able to identify that one of them was sort of the anchor of the effect and take that zombie out. Yes?
Yep. Yep, but not before Tug got decked by Mongo.
Lay 12 hit points on Tug.
Excellent.
And another... blah, 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 blah. Let's see. Oh, the second level. Oh, that was sad. And another 12 on Slaughter. And Gix doesn't look hurt?
No, that's my temp HP from that cleric that I ate. So, cleric jerky.
All right. And I still have spell slots left if anyone's still hurt.
Excellent. What would you all like to do now that things have, besides obviously the healing that you've just partaken in, what would you like to do now that things are mellowed? Did you have this hut nearby?
Millie, I think I can defend us.
Oh?
For the night.
From what?
I wiggled the staff.
No.
Oh, yes,
We need rest!
Yes.
We can't afford to put half the party on watch. We need rest, and this would help us right now. And I feel like Denim sent this to me for a reason.
Deneb didn't give you that staff. Deneb doesn't do things like that. You were going to make us all look like a bunch of monsters.
No one's gonna know. We're in the middle of nowhere.
Don't say things like no one's gonna know. I realize that maybe I only learned about this in sneaky rebel school, but just don't say things like that. Fine.
Millie?
Oh, I'm for it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know if being in the middle of the field and hanging out is going to be something that we should do, let alone raising whatever we just put back into the ground back up to protect us. Also,
They'll be
does
on
not
our
sound
side,
wise.
and maybe they'll all the other zombies will see them and go, "Oh, it's okay over there. We won't bother them. They have zombies too."
So is that a wisdom or an insight, an intelligence check that I have to roll to believe that?
Well, it depends. Are you trying to see if you believe it or if you believe that she believes it?
I believe it.
She believes it.
I actually believe it.
I guess I'll do it.
I don't think it will attract more zombies. I think the other zombies will be like, "Oh, that's okay. We don't bother them. They can clearly belong here because we are among them." Like if we were disguising ourselves as zombies, except having them
Yeah, I can't even do that because I look around. There's no corpses. I wanted to do that the whole time.
I don't think I need corpses here. That's the thing. Everybody get back. Get the horses back. I don't want to scare them.
I have a feeling that we shouldn't stay and that we should try and get out of here as soon as possible.
In the middle of this bloodstorm.
Yes. I don't think another round of that is something that we're all going to make it out of unless you want to use your staff on one of the horses after.
Well, for clarification, as soon as you stopped the Call Lightning spell, the bloodstorm stopped.
Oh, freaky.
Yeah, you're You don't need to roll for this. When you use Call Lightning creates conditions that will allow lightning bolts to fall from the sky. Unfortunately, here that also is accompanied by sheets of bloody rain. That's just a side effect of where you're at.
Because Scarred lands.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, Gix is very much so like ready to go. We need to leave, not stay here. Stay here bad.
What time of day is it?
I suppose we can take turns resting in the wagon.
Yeah.
Well, you could do that. It is still like, I believe you're only about 2 hours from when you last camped.
Okay, so
yeah.
I was thinking it was later in the day.
You have plenty of time to move still. There is, like I said, there's that hut that's nearby if you wanted to try to seek shelter in there to rest, or you can cycle through resting in the wagon.
I'm okay, I got spell slots.
If the horses are going to be okay, we can do the cycle in the wagon thing.
Now that Tug's healed, they'll probably be all right.
Okay. Yeah.
You can at least get a few hours up the road, and now where you're at, you seem to have found the actual road. So it's quite possible that as you move along, it will become more stable. And remember, as far as you knew going into this road is maintained by Hollowfaustian. So the fact that the Festering Fields effects are going on this far to the northeast is, in and of itself, unusual. It's not what you expected. It's not what you've been led to believe would be the case.
Something's changed. Dun dun dun.
So either we sit here and we get another round of we don't know what's going on, or we at least get to somewhere where there's more of a potential to have a conversation with something that doesn't go brains the whole time. So.
All right, you got a point, Gix. We should get back on the
All
road.
right. Who is going to drive, and who is going to rest, and who is going to stand watches?
I would like to rest first if possible. I have a grand total of like 3 spell slots left.
Clearly Zopa's resting.
Sorcerers don't get spell slots back on short rest, though.
Oh, is this not a long rest when we're going?
Well, it can be.
Yeah, let me take first rest so I can get like all charged up again, and then I can just.
Warlocks get all their spells back.
I'm happy to take first watch. I came through that okay, so
I can burn it. I have some sorcery points that I can burn.
That's fine.
To get extra spell slots if we need to, I guess.
I think it makes sense for you guys to rest. I don't actually know how to drive a house, so
I don't want to rest. I want to go up and drive with Jedryn. I want to see this happen.
Oh god!
I know how to ride.
This is how we're gonna die.
We're gonna
let Cheshire drive, and we're gonna wake up in a ditch in the middle of Festering Fields.
Cheshire wants to see Jedryn drive.
I do know how to. I do know how to ride a horse. But yeah, I don't know how much I.
Secondary thoughts. Somebody's almost down. Oh, it's Sasha.
Yeah,
done that so many times.
Yeah, that's another great reason to try and get closer to the city.
Yeah, like dead person. Oh wait, it's just Sasha. A known dead person. Okay. It is comforting that she still considers herself to be a character. So I'll take that.
Is there still an injured horse?
No, you've healed the horse.
No,
well,
yeah. Okay.
Yes,
I just see
actually, yeah. Oh, I guess Lug got hit too.
Okay, I'll throw a cure light on. I'll just throw first level on Lug there.
Poor Luggy. I go out and I give Lug scritches.
Lug gets back 6.
Lug is my horse, so.
Yeah. Lug's mostly okay. There's still some scrapes and bruises, but otherwise, they're fine.
I give him a dried apple.
Good. He likes it very much.
Boy.
Did we ever wind up with somebody actually responsible for steering this thing?
I mean, I can.
Jedryn.
I'll try, I guess.
Just give me a dexterity check. You may apply your vehicle's proficiency if you possess it.
The one that I don't have, that one.
Yep, that one.
Yeah.
And Millie, are you...
Woohoo! Critical success!
Allah, you're good to go.
We randomly have a third horse now.
Millie, are you navigating and also are you trying to get in some rest as well?
I can navigate.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a survival check if you don't mind. Excellent. You continue on pressing forward. So, was Cheshire going to squeeze in a short rest and then go up front, or was Cheshire going to just sit up front and check out the spectacle?
You just sit up front and just kind of like hang out.
You can't short rest from the back of the mock dragon, can you?
No, you cannot short rest while you are
Short rest?
riding a creature. Actually, Cheshire can short rest while riding in a wagon because it doesn't require any work, but riding a mount is not restful.
Yes.
Just ask Eacade.
So that'll give Korggix then the opportunity to go ahead and fulfill a short rest at the very least.
Yay.
Yeah, I'll do that.
We'll see how far we get before some other hell beast looms up at us.
Don't jinx it. You told me not to jinx it.
You're riding along. You make it probably about another hour up the road. And the road itself is becoming a bit more defined underneath the dirt. The areas where it's blown across looks much more like, kind of if you see, like about an inch of snow on the ground and then it blows across the freshly plowed highway. That's kind of the look that you're getting, where you can see it poking through a little bit more. And there's definitely a impression that there's been some force, sort of like a wind or something pushing from the southwest, from the core of the Festering Fields outward across it. Like all of there's very clear patterns where the dust has blown onto the road itself. And as you are coming up on the hour mark, do any of you have danger sense? Do any of you have any way of detecting magical anomalies of any sort? Any sort of sudden onset of disruptions in the plains, anything along those lines?
Maybe Millie does.
But I have to choose to do it. It's not passive.
Yeah, I don't think I have any are we going to die spider senses that make my teeth tingle or anything. So
I've got some I would notice if animals in the region were acting funny. But I don't know if there's any animals out here to act funny. But I would know if that bird is freaked out, kind of a thing.
Okay.
If I noticed it.
I have a constant sense of crippling anxiety, but
yeah,
sure,
that's different.
That'll work. Go ahead and make a perception check for me, Jedryn.
Seriously? I'll take it. Nope.
No, yeah, you don't know.
We're gonna fucking die. I know we're gonna fucking die. I just don't know where it's gonna come from. Definitely not from behind that mysterious glowing bush over there.
So my animal freaking out detection.
Nothing. Yeah, it's got nothing to do with animals.
Yeah.
So as you're riding along, we'll assume that Millie is in the middle. Oh, we'll assume Jedryn, because Jedryn's driving, is in the middle. Millie on the right, and Cheshire on the left of the bench. And you feel, the first thing you notice, Jedryn, is you feel a warmth on your leg, kind of like where you and Millie are pressing up against one another, to sort of be squeezed onto the bench properly.
Mm-hmm.
And Cheshire and Jedryn, you both start hearing like a crackling noise. And you look over to where Millie is sitting, and you see literal cracks forming in her flesh, with light escaping from them.
I don't notice that
Holy
my flesh
fuck,
is
Millie!
Haley, I love your look like da 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 da.
Not right away. And then when you say what and look down, you see like your hand, like cracks forming in your hand and light pouring out.
Oh, this is new.
That's not good. That's not good.
Guys!
Does it hurt?
You don't feel any pain.
Okay.
You
I'm
do
being
see
woken
that,
up by this, or
I rein in Slaughter to
the guys was a top of the lungs Jedryn emergency cry, so
yeah.
with the
All right,
shout,
so-
you definitely wake up.
I'll wake up and I guess they're all outside, so I'll peer outside, and when I see them glowing on Millie, I will roll my eyes and shut the door and go back in the wagon.
You look at Millie and you make eye contact. Millie kind of looks over her shoulder, almost like instinctively, that somebody's watching. And just in time for you all to see, and you pull up next to it, just in time for you all to see where the light is pouring through Millie's flesh, you see the edges of those seams start to like roil and bubble and then flake away, almost in like it almost looks like fairy dust flaking away, and then it rapidly spreads across her entire body.
At least it's pretty.
And
Does it hurt?
she disappears.
God damn it, I knew it.
no. Can I grab her as she's fading out, or?
Yeah, you reach out and you put your hand on her upper arm, and you feel it like crumble underneath you as it turns into this dusty ash.
Okay, anything in the surrounding mile area could probably roll an advantage for, what was that noise?
Fair enough. You let out a horrible scream.
Yeah.
I'm convinced that this
I
is
won't
just
do it on mic,
another
but-
elaborate thing that Cheshire went through. But for Millie. So until somebody tells me otherwise, I'm just like hanging out in the wagon, trying to get comfortable in the most uncomfortable ways.
I'm summoning one of my spirit auras because I'm freaking the hell out.
Oh my god. What? This is all my fault.
Wait, what?
Why is it your fault? What happened? Where'd she go? Allies in aura have advantage to react to attacks. React on attacks to enemies in aura. I summoned the hawk.
All right. The hawk spirit appears above you. And it starts like circling the area almost nervously. And are you
Festering
stopping?
Fields, Jesus Christ, what are you doing here?
Are you stopping the wagon, or are you continuing forward?
Full break.
I am not in control of the wagon at present.
All right. So Cheshire, you reach over and
Yeah. Like,
roll the
wait,
horses. You see the hawk sort of circle. You do make it. It kind of lurches forward for a minute between when the hawk arrives and when you get the wagon to stop. And the hawk is like circling the immediate area above exactly where Millie left.
Something's here. I don't know what. Something's here. Another portal to another dimension, like in the place with all the water stuff? I thought we took care of that.
You mean there's like a door or something, maybe? And I jump down and I run back to where the hawk is and
detect magic? Like rain up next to the thing and
Yeah.
not even as a ritual, just
you cast detect magic. Yes, have some. There is definitely magic there.
he's like, look at the staff, it's working, yes, and then look at it.
There's kind of magic everywhere, but you definitely sense an extremely powerful conjuration.
Teleportation is conjuration. Yeah. That always confuses me. The teleportation is conjuration.
Well, it's about getting things to go places. Yeah, very, very potent spell. Why don't you go ahead and give me a spellcasting ability check, if you don't mind.
How does that work?
Make an ability check with whatever your spellcasting ability is.
Okay, so like a raw wisdom check?
Yes.
Alright. Not a wisdom save. Herbert.
you gotta feel it in your jellies.
That's my wisdom score. Okay. Me. No, that's charisma. Darn it. Wisdom check. Here we go.
Yeah.
It wasn't supposed to was an advantage, was it?
Sure wasn't. So as you're looking around, basically all you clock is that there is definitely a conjuration effect that's very powerful. Pretty much exactly where she was sitting. And then obviously the just sea of necromantic ichor that you are sort of floating through magically. Though you can also feel that there are almost wisps of that necromancy. Like you're at the edge of that effect. So you can feel like there's wisps of area that are untainted by the necromancy in your vicinity.
Like on the road, or?
Yeah, like on the road and like just pass ahead of you. Like you can, like within your line of sight. Like you can see if you look to the southwest, it's just all bad. Like the whole area is bad. Don't go over there. But if you look over to like the northeast, you can see like bands of cleanliness.
Just as it enters the Hornsaw Forest, and
well, yeah, I mean, there's a little distance between here and there, and that's a whole different level of icky. But like, you know, and that's not so much necromancy as it's just general, you know,
poisonous,
general muck.
Well, we seem to be leaving the dead zone, and I mean that in the literal sense. But it was conjuration magic. Something did conjuration magic to her. I don't know what that means.
Somebody took her?
I don't know. But it was magic. I don't know if it was her magic. Maybe she moved herself. But why? But that's all I can say. And it was powerful. I think it was powerful. Yeah, I don't know. Cheshire, do you have any idea what you know magic, right?
I mean, I did know magic a few weeks ago. Now I do weird magic that I don't really understand. But no magic I've ever done made anyone go cracky crack. So this is way beyond my...
I mean, I know her eyes glow, but that's normal, right?
Yeah, like, that's what... Okay, I'm just gonna go sit down in front of where Millie was, and I'm just gonna wait. That's all I can do.
I'm running around, kind of babbling semi-coherently, looking at stuff, trying to see if any of the dust looks glittery on the ground, and whether there's anywhere that somebody could be hiding, maybe behind that bush. No, that's not.
Jedryn, freaking out is not helping.
Needless to say, that does not stop me from freaking out.
The observation that it's unhelpful has zero effect on...
No.
While you're all sitting there freaking out, Millie.
Yeah.
You appear on a marble slab.
That's never good.
Oh, that's great.
I look around.
Can you see what's on the map in front of you?
Yes. So just nothing then.
Whiteness as far as you can see. Just white brightness.
Hello?
You hear a voice that seems to emanate from all around you. It's a familiar voice. You've heard it before. And has feminine qualities. It's the voice that emanated from that bizarre shape that you encountered before. I apologize for the drastic interruption. But I needed to speak with you, and you were about to leave an area where I could easily do so.
Oh. So you have a limitation then?
I have several limitations. All beings do.
I mean, you have like a territory.
How can I explain this? In areas where the living and the dead are closer together, it is easier for me to reach. And in the area of your destination, despite their practices, the barrier between a soul's destination and the living is thicker.
Okay. So what do you need me for?
There's much I would love to explain, but our time is somewhat limited. It has come to my attention that your father is imperiled in a fashion that also risks myself and my home.
Well, how can I fix that?
I believe where you're going, there are practitioners who might have the means of locating and summoning your father. And if not preventing him from doing damage, at least giving us an honest assessment of what damage may have been done.
What is he doing?
I have intelligence that leads me to believe that he is in Chardun's service.
Well, that doesn't make sense. Something is very wrong.
Oh, undoubtedly something is very wrong. That is not the man I knew.
Man you made. Right. That. Okay. Putting a pin in that.
The man I knew, not the man I knew.
Oh. You know my dad?
Yes, child, I do.
Oh. He seems to know everybody.
He does get around a bit, yes.
Has he been here?
Not In several years.
So yes, then.
There was a time. A weekend.
Good.
All right, I'm going to put a pin in that one, too.
There's stilts involved.
So many questions. I don't want to ask any of them.
Yeah.
Who are you?
I am many things. I am a servant of Madriel. I am an angel. I am your mother.
Who is my other father?
Bio dad.
Child, you have no other father.
Oh.
You're half halfling. Who knew?
Okay. Well, it's nice to meet you.
Yes, I wish it were under better circumstances with more time. But
that would be nice, yes. Yeah, so I'll try to extract Dad from whatever's going on then.
if you could, that would be great. Please, when you gather your information, look to the sunrise and call the Redeemer's name, and I will hear you. And when she says that, I want you to make a perception check, if you don't mind, please.
Okay. Does Millie know what the Redeemer's name is?
Yeah, it's Madriel.
Okay, right.
That's one of her common type.
9.
All right, yeah. You hear like a tinkling noise like off in the distance, but you can't quite figure out what it's from, and it's barely at the edge of your perception. Not enough to even necessarily be like annoying or distracting. There's just a moment of silence where you kind of get. And she says, "I apologize for any distress I may have caused you. Perhaps next time we can meet in a more comfortable fashion."
I like that.
So would I, child. And with that, you see darkness isn't quite the right word, but by contrast to where you are, it is darkness. As bands of illumination start going through cracks that form in your flesh. And where your last experience was not painful, not even really unpleasant or like almost didn't register as like a feeling. This hurts. This hurts bad. As each portion where the crack appears, you feel yourself going from this place. It doesn't register until the crack appears in your flesh that you have been in a place of sort of perpetual healing and health and bliss. And you feel that being ripped away inch by inch as your body starts reforming itself.
Scream.
Excellent. A cloud of ashes in a vaguely Millie-esque shape begins to form in the middle of where you're all stopped and standing and looking around. And as soon as the mouth forms, you just there's just a blood-curdling shriek as Millie returns to a physical form.
Flying halfling tackle.
All right.
I gotcha. Like
it would be that, but I'd fall off a giant dragon thing.
lying on top of you with a dagger out, kind of waving it in the direction of space.
What? You're alive. Good. Where'd you go? What was that?
Okay, hold on. That hurt a lot. I need to breathe.
Are you okay? Who fucking did that to you? Tell me where they are, and I will fucking cut them off and feed them their own tongue.
Do you need healing?
I think I'm okay. The pain's faded now, right?
Pain's gone, yeah.
Okay. I'm fine. It's fine. I'm fine. Dad's not fine.
Of course Dad's not fine.
Yeah. Kind of knew that.
Dad's in trouble. Apparently in the service of Chardoon, which seems wrong.
The flail possessed his brain, I bet.
And I met my mom. She said that when we get to where we're going, there's people there who may be able to summon and extract our father from the terrible danger he is in and is putting others in.
What is your mom?
Well, she's an angel, apparently.
Cool.
Madriel.
Madriel. I guess that's okay.
Shut up. Of course Madriel's okay.
But, yeah, and she said if they can't summon him, then at least they should be able to get more information.
Okay. All right. Well,
so at least we're going in the right direction.
Sounds like it, yeah.
My parents were lame.
You have a really cool dad, though, except for right now he's in the service of Chardoon, so...
I meant my biological parents. Obviously, our dad is, well, usually did.
Usually good, except now...
Except when he's being possessed by an evil flail.
Can't leave him alone for a minute.
So, when Millie came back, I would have gone to the front and started crying. I think at some point I would have heard that Daz is service to Chardoon thing, and I would have come out. Jedryn, do you remember, like a week ago or a month ago, who knows how long it was? I had a dream where things were super nice, and then things got super creepy, and Dad was like being held up by chains.
Mm-hmm, I do.
How likely was that not a dream and just someone being like, you want to see some really weird reality TV? Check this out.
Other than the fact that I don't know what TV is. Is that some kind of spell?
Yeah, and I'm going to do a minor image and do like moving pictures. They call it TV.
Hey. Yeah, it's possible. That does seem like the kind of crap he would get himself stuck in.
It's the flail. It got into his brains and made him bad. I'm thinking, we gotta fix him. So what did your mom say to do, Millie? Like go to the necromancers and ask them.
To hopefully summon and extract Dad, and at the very least to gather more information on the situation.
Did you just get summoned and extracted? Because it looked painful.
Well, the the summoning wasn't painful at all. It was the returning to a land of flesh and pain from a realm that was much softer and nicer.
Okay.
Okay, I guess we gotta get going then.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like it.
Oh, that's a lot to think about.
Well, okay.
All right, so what would y'all like to do?
Summon a couple of zombies to have with us when we get to that city of the zombie-making people, so that we fit in quite well.
Okay. You use that staff here?
Well, while we're still near the land of the undead, I'm gonna give it a shot.
Okay. It casts what? Animate Dead?
Yeah. We'll cast control. I think so. What did you say? It was 2 spells.
No, did I not have you write it down or give it to you?
You didn't, but I looked it up in the module because
I was gonna say it's in this lovely book for Haven Being.
Isn't that a lovely book? Yeah, exactly. Let me go find a lovely book.
Oh, I just
This lovely book called Fair Haven and Beyond.
Sorry.
Quite lovely.
You can cast Animate Dead, expending 1 charge, but you may expend additional charges to increase the effective spell level to a maximum of 9th level.
That sounds insane.
Well, it's handy if you need to raise an
10
army.
charges. Yeah. I just want 2 to look impressive. To yes, we belong in the city of the necromancers because we have our own pet zombies.
You use the staff and you cast it using 2 charges. So that will animate.
Make the intention of making 2 I'm trying to make a 2nd level. Cast it once at 2nd level to see what happens. Basically, if that makes sense. And then, if that works, cast it a 2nd time at 2nd level and call that good. 4 charges, 2 zombies, maybe.
Well, I mean, it casts at 3rd, but so when you create one, when you cast it at 3rd level, you create normally 1 undead creature.
Oh, okay.
And can create an additional 2 for each higher level. So when you cast it, 18 corpses rise up out of the ground.
That was way more than I expected. I thought I'd get 2 zombies. That's a lot of zombies. Whoa. Sorry, guys. I did not mean for it to be quite that powerful. How many charges did I use? Tap, tap.
Still seems to be full of energy.
Yeah. Sound of leather on dagger handle. Those are all under your control, right?
Make them do this.
They all...
Yes, it is under my control. It's so that we can blend in and so that we go in the city and they know we belong there because we have our own zombies.
I look around at the whole group and I'm like, so we can blend in. That's the problem.
We're Titan spawn. At least some of us are. And so we don't want them to think we don't belong there. So they'll think we belong there if we have our own zombies, right? Because they're all necromancers, right?
Sure. Sure.
That is 9 times the number I expected. I thought there'd be 2. I'm so sorry. I only meant to make 2. Not 18. Did I count that right? 1, 2, 3. Stop moving, George. 4, 5, 6.
I'm just really glad Gix is asleep in the wagon.
Being my bunk.
All right.
Keep up, fellas.
They do their best. Their speed is about 20. So if you want to slow yourself down so that they can keep up with you, or you can have them double time it.
We can slow down.
It's not like they're going to get tired.
It's true.
You continue on for the remainder of the day. Are you going to...
I feel like Deneb is ashamed of me now.
No, you don't feel like, the judgment, like, seeping up from your sleeping goddess or whatever. No, there's no... there doesn't appear to be any immediate consequence whatsoever.
I don't follow Madriel, I'm fine.
Are you going to force march, or are you going to just continue? No. Okay. All right, you make your way along the road. As you get close to sunset, you do see that there's... First of all, Gix, you wake up fully rested. When you wake up, you see that there are 9 zombies marching next to the wagon on either side.
It's very clear they're marching with us.
Yes.
Is anybody in the wagon with me?
I don't think so.
So I guess my immediate response would be to cast... Because I assume that we're under attack again. I will cast Magic Vestment on myself and get my dagger ready.
Right. You come you going out the front, the back, the side?
I'm going out the back, ready to fight all of the zombies again.
They salute you.
You leap out the back, dagger in hand, ha! And you just see you see Triss riding on the dragon, hey.
And as soon as that happens, I'm like, I never, ever, ever want to hear about anything I eat ever again.
Just make sure whatever you eat's already dead at the time. Please.
I don't think I've ever eaten anything alive once.
Good. Keep it up.
Yeah. King Captain of moral fucking guidance over here. I don't even have enough digits to count how many undead you've raised.
Millie, why don't you go ahead and give me a perception check as you're moving along. Or survival, whichever is better.
They're the same. Cool.
I will say that I will consume one of these with corpse armor.
You snag one up. It doesn't really resist you. It just goes, oh, okay.
We could have made Can I make that have adamantine armor to make the corpse armor better?
Yes. So that'll give you resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage while you're wearing the corpse armor.
For the next 24 hours. Got it.
Stop playing with people's mortal remains.
I'm not playing with anything. I'm just doing what I'm not the one who brought these back to life. I'm just taking advantage of the situation that is being given to me.
Millie, you can see 2 things. One, you see probably 10 minutes up the road, maybe. Looks like there's an area that looks probably defensible enough that you could set up a good safe camp. But also, as you look up, you can see that there's kind of a foothill. And it looks, for all the world, like poking up through some of the trees on that foothill. Yes, you're in a place now where there's more vegetation.
Trees?
Yeah. It appears as though there might be some sort of a keep.
Hey, look at that.
Once it's pointed out, you can all sort of see kind of what you're talking about. There's definitely some sort of a constructed structure there.
It's probably fucking haunted, but let's go.
Well, we'll see if there's a garrison or whatever they call a bunch of soldiers there, and if so, then it's probably safe, and if it's empty, then it's probably haunted.
Isn't a group of zombies called a shamble?
That makes sense.
Could be. So you continue riding, probably another 20 minutes to get up to where you can see there's clearly a paved path that goes off of the main road and goes over to this keep. And you can see that there are 3 very clearly skeletal creatures that appear to have the upper body of a human and the lower body of a horse, standing guard at the front of this keep. And as you approach, you see a human kind of lean over the top of the roof. State your business.
Jedryn.
Food and shelter? We're on our way to Hollowfaustian. Just looking for someplace where undead ogres won't run up on us and try to eat our horses.
Okay. This ain't exactly an inn.
Oh, we're not exactly normal customers, are we? Is there a problem? I'm sorry if we're worrying you.
No, normally we kill anything that comes out of the Festering Fields, but, unless it's got, like, travel papers.
We have travel papers?
We have travel papers?
I mean, I technically have fake documentation.
I could have made fake documentation if I thought that was a thing. I guess I'm like, travel papers, is that a thing? I can tell you where we're from and everything.
You seem nice enough. He throws his legs over the edge of the keep. And you see he's wearing like black robes that have like a golden filigree around the edges. And he just jumps off of like this 4-story wall.
Holy shit.
And immediately starts like slowly dropping to the ground.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say.
Impressive, yeah.
So is this the part where I cast Counterspell? And we inherit a
That'll
keep? Is
teach you.
that what happens?
That's horrible. Don't we still
It's
have
not
those...
fair, you guys trying to make me this group's moral compass.
I said it out of character. I didn't say that out loud. I would have done it if I was going to do it.
Jedryn would be so mad at you.
And he sort of does like a Tony Stark 3-point land and then stands up, dusts his knees off.
Don't we still have those Hollowfaustian hats, too?
I believe you do still have the Hollowfaustian hats, yes. He says, my name is Eric. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Don't get a lot of travelers out this way, especially since the swell. But if you need a place to stay, you're on your way to Hollowfaustian?
Mm-hmm.
I'm technically, I guess, a sergeant in the Hollowfaustian Guard.
I see.
Make all of the zombies salute.
Thanks, appreciate it. Why don't you leave them outside? We'll stable the horses and your dragon. Are you Calastian?
In the loosest possible sense of the word. Believe me,
We are from the hegemony.
Okay.
If that's what you mean.
Yeah.
I said with my
Unenthusiastically. Maybe that's the best way of putting it.
Is anybody going to come start a fight because you have that?
Nope.
Okay. Then let's stable them up and get you inside and get you a nice home-cooked-ish meal.
Make an insight check on this person.
Sure, absolutely. They seem genuinely warm, remarkably friendly, and incredibly lonely.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think he's out here by himself. He's just happy to have something that doesn't go, brains.
Yeah, exactly.
It's me and my 40 skeletons.
Zombies, not so good at chess.
Villains are even worse. They can't hold the pieces.
Yeah, I mean, apart from that, he seems to be genuine. He seems cool. He just doesn't. He just seems lonely, and genuinely nice, genuinely warm.
Yeah.
Stand watch.
You tell the zombies to stand watch. He says we do have I guess a stabling, for lack of a better term, for them if you desire it.
She's just trying to show off, honestly.
Oh,
No, I'm just trying to figure out how this works.
good job. I'm impressed.
I'm new to this whole thing. So
She thought us having zombies would help us fit in, I say, gesturing at the menagerie.
I mean, I'm wearing a corpse, so I probably fit in the most.
She might be right. It's been a while since I've been home. Well, come on in. Let's get you, as far as places to sleep, we've got plenty of empty rooms. I don't know what state the bedding's in. I'll have the concierge look into it for you.
We've got our own bedding in the wagon, but thank you.
We have rooms.
Really appreciate it.
And you look up, and this is not a small keep. It looks like it was probably some sort of a active military outpost during the Divine War. Given its location, in relatively good repair. Any of you want to make a history check to look at the if you'd like, as you're looking it over. None of you are dwarves, so you don't get any special bonuses to that. But Triss, you
read books.
You can tell for sure as you're walking up on this place that it has been rebuilt. There's been ample repair done on it at some point in probably the last 2-3 decades. The stonework is definitely not original. Jedryn, you can come to the same conclusion. There's nothing that reaches out to either one of you as oh, this must be this place where this thing happened. Looks like it's just kind of an unremarkable outpost, but definitely looks like it's a nice, safe place to sleep. And as you're walking in and they're stabling the animals, you do see there's probably about 60 undead of various stripe in here, between Marrow Knights, zombies, skeletons, things of that nature. They're all very well maintained. And in fact, all of them who have flesh on them have various floral odors that they are emitting.
They've got all got the little Christmas tree hanging around their neck.
And the ones that are down to skeletons, when you get close, you can see that they have patterns, designs painted on their bones. Not anything that strikes you as particularly arcane or particularly relevant to spellcasting. But it looks like he's just been decoratively painting the skeletons that are here.
Right. It occurs to me that I should have made skeletons instead of zombies because skeletons don't smell bad.
Oh, now this occurs.
Maybe I can change them in the morning.
You must be very bored.
He says, "Oh yeah, you have no idea. I'm really happy that you're here."
Yeah, I can't believe they just stick you out here with nobody, sane to keep you company. That'd, drive a person nuts.
It's got its moments.
Well, can I, when they say that, can I roll to see if they were maybe put out here by themselves as punishment?
Make an insight check.
Insight, where are you? There you are. 22.
You definitely get the impression that they weren't thrilled about the assignment. It's a very good chance that this was some sort of punishment, retaliation, some type of response to a failure, or at the very least, an undesirable assignment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is not somewhere that people would like to be placed.
Right. Well, the reason that I was thinking that is because my time as a servant/slave in Calastia, I would hear the rumblings of my keeper of people being punished this way in Calastia, I would assume, in some regard. So I was like,
Sure.
that seems like a kind of a situation that's happening here.
There's certainly, like, the societal norms are definitely not, they're not comparable between the two, but...
right. Well, I mean, Calastia is like execution for months.
Right, lashes and shit like that. I mean, Hollowfaustian ain't necessarily a nice place either, but...
right.
I want to go over to Ravenclaw.
Culturally speaking, yeah, it's quite possible this is the case.
Also, I was wondering, how magic are they? Do they have like a hint of magic, or are they like just a full blown fucking wizard?
The person that you're speaking to?
Yeah, Eric.
You can probably, like, he's not being shy about his abilities. He just
used Featherfall.
Right.
But he is carrying a staff that you're relatively certain is probably a magical item. He's wearing rings, and those rings... Go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
Is he with one of the hats?
14.
He's not wearing it at the moment. 14? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you've seen, of jewelry that's used by necromancers, particularly those of like Hollowfaustian and Levidatel, places where they use industrial necromancy. They will often have jewelry that is designed to permit someone to control several more undead than they normally would be able to. You're getting the impression that those are the rings that he's wearing.
Well, the reason that I was asking is because Sir Sasha is still in tow.
Sasha is still in tow.
So, I assume that while we're getting sorted, I'll ask him, or like beckon over to him to the statue of Sir Sasha, and just kind of explain the situation. Like, hey, this is one of the reasons we're going to Hollowfaust, to see if literally anybody has any clue of how to keep them alive, because we wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for them, and this is, at the time, the only solution we had to potentially prolong their life.
Starts looking it over and says, well, okay, so here's the thing. I can't unpetrify her.
Right. I wasn't asking so much that if that was what you were going to do, or even if you had the resources here to do it. It's just, if this is an adventure that it's even worth exploring in Hollowfast when we get there.
I bet you if you got a couple of people together, I mean, it's going to cost you. Like, this is not a small job. The other thing I would recommend doing is getting a hold of a mason.
Fixing her first.
Yeah,
it's like this bit's chipped off and this over here is a little bit scuffed. You might want to have a sculptor go to work on her before you try to...
Would that work, though?
Yeah, I'm afraid that they're going to have prosthetics that aren't exactly designed for movement when they wake up.
Flesh and feel her, or would they be... We need to ask somebody if they've ever...
Better than being broken when...
Well, the intention was to turn her back into flesh and then heal.
We'll find out when we get there.
I'm just saying she's got a leg off. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
You can't tell, but she has more than probably 90% of her body covered in third-degree burns. So
it was not a good day.
That's not just wear and tear. Oh
no.
Oh,
like we said, we didn't take the choice lightly of going, oh yeah, we're going to turn you to stone to keep you. That was the only option that we could foresee in the moment. So it's not a great situation to be in, but we owe her a lot.
Well, yeah, I would say I'm sure there's someone there that can do it if you can foot the bill. It ain't going to be cheap though. There's not much I can do to help. Let me check the libraries here. I might have something that can at least help the process along, save you a few bucks. At least I can do it. It's nice to have some
I would appreciate it immensely.
No problem.
You're being way more generous than we have any right to ask. So.
I'm super bored, and you are here to, you are helping with that, so I really appreciate it. Oh, look, dinner's on. And you see, like, skeletons, like 10 skeletons come in, and they set out basically like a feast on this green table here.
I see there's all of the Hogwarts colors.
That is true. And Eric walks over and pops a squat and just starts eating as though he has never engaged in a situation that involved table manners. He's really just grabbing food and just shoving it in his face.
Neither do half of us, so I don't think
I was going to say,
Gix is very much so following suit.
Was your dad a halfling by any chance?
He says, no, so I got assigned out here about 5 years back.
Gods! Seriously?
Yeah. I'm not sure if they remember that I'm here.
Well, if you need us to deliver a message or something, we can do that.
Oh, that'd be great. I have a few in my room.
Yeah, brother, that's not right.
Wasn't great. The only time I've seen anybody from the city was when the swell happened. A patrol came through, but they only stopped.
Cut out there.
Oh, when the swell happened, a patrol came through.
What's the swell?
About 6 months ago, the Festering Fields swelled.
Oh, God, that's not good.
Like a bigger?
It's receding now, but yeah, it actually.
That's why the ground is all squishy with blood.
Right, and in fact, it swallowed this keep for a brief period of time. Fortunately, I was able to shutter all the windows, and I had a lot of company to keep me safe.
Wait, but we're on a hill.
Yeah, no, it was bad. It was not good.
Does it make necromancy spells more powerful?
Among other things, yeah.
So if you were to try to make 2 zombies, would it make 18?
Hypothetically speaking.
Hypothetically speaking.
It could, yeah. I would be very careful with that, though, because this stuff is wicked, chaotic. There's no real control over it. The ebb and flow of necromancy that's coming from the Festering Fields is not in tune with what one might normally be able to control or contain. It doesn't follow the normal rules of magic. So we really do not recommend raising the dead out there.
Wish someone told me that first. Okay, good to know. I'll remember that forever.
Yeah. You can feel a look coming up at you from down at Jedryn's level.
So I noticed his rings and things like that, and I do have jeweler's tools and woodcarver's tools, and I'm just gonna kind of ask, is there any excess jewelry or gemstones or anything here that you would mind if I tinkered on while we stayed?
Oh yeah, I mean, if you just want something to practice with. Yep. Yeah, I got you. 1 second. He gets up and actually he starts to get up, and then he just turns to one of them and says, "Hey, Chuck, go get the jewelry box out of Renee's old quarters, please."
So, out of character, my thinking is that I'll make him something just because he's lonely as fuck.
Yeah.
So that's what Gix is thinking, FYI.
That's fair. So what's your stories?
How much beer do you have?
We're all one family.
Yeah.
God, I don't have any beer.
Oh God, you poor bastard! Did we had picked up a keg with the thing, didn't we? I go out to the wagon and find something alcoholic and bring it back in and like, dunch.
So, Jedryn, you walk out to the wagon. I'll get back to you in a minute while you're out there.
Okay.
So he says, okay, well, so no, seriously though, like what's bringing you all the way out here? Like, we don't get a lot of traffic on this road that's not specifically either trade or some dipstick getting ready to try to sack Hollowfaustian.
You have no interest in that. And we're actually en route to the Gleaming Valley. Hollowfaustian is just a really safe location.
I was going to say, you're kind of taking the long way, right?
Well, it was that or try to go through the horn saw, which didn't sound very appealing, right?
Right. Yeah, that could be bad.
Yeah, this seemed to be the less bad route, I think, without,
Sure.
using better, bigger magic than any of us had.
I mean, before the swell, yeah, that would have been the smart play.
I guess we got out-of-date maps, because the road was really hard to find for a while.
Yeah, I mean, theoretically, as the swell recedes, it'll get easier to see again, but...
We heard there was a safe road, but it wasn't as safe as we would have thought.
Yeah, we used to have guards that would patrol it. They stopped doing that when the swell hit.
Oh, do you know what caused the swell?
I don't. I would assume that the folks up in the city have been looking into it. But there was a time when patrols would stop here and they would share information and whatnot, but that doesn't really happen much anymore.
I'm so sorry.
That's cool. I've got my friends.
I look around the room. It's nice to see that.
While all that's going on, Jedryn, you go out to the wagon and you're pulling the keg off the wagon, and you look over and you see two of the zombies that were raised are eating a third of the zombies.
Our zombies?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Kind of amble back in. So, Triss.
Yes?
Cannibal zombies? Normal? No? Because I'm new to this whole thing, but...
I run out.
She has this thing about pets that...
Well, the cannibal part, again, applies to Gix, so I will be following to give them shit the entire time.
He says, you need a hand with that? Guess not.
I still remember the time that she came home with like a hill viper wrapped around her arm, pumping venom into it, going, "Can we keep it?"
It was awesome.
Is that how you wound up with the box of flesh strippers that you're carrying with you?
That was also my fault.
Yeah, she's
But flesh strippers
aiding
are
and
quite
abetting.
useful.
No, they're good. You can get, hey, if you're looking to make some money, their venom will fetch you a pretty penny up in the city.
Yeah,
So
definitely be worth all the problems we've had.
just a FYI, the doctors love it. It makes a great anesthetic.
Yeah.
If you can milk them safely.
Oh, we can. They're well trained.
I was under the impression that was what was being done the whole time.
Yep. we have like gallons of this shit
Sure,
at this point.
he doesn't know that.
Yeah.
George, stop eating Fred. Crap, now Fred doesn't have an ear.
So, as soon as you get outside near the two zombies, so just so that I'm clear on this, it was just Triss and Triss and
Triss and Gix
that went out there, right?
Yeah, I'm not like fully sprinted dedicated. Like, I still want to have like the jewelry box that he's bringing out, but I definitely want to yell some shit after I know that it's okay, and then come back.
Yeah, as you kind of walk up to the edge, you do see these two zombies are feeding on another one, and they've got it about halfway eaten at this point. And then, Gix, you feel a poke and take 1 point of piercing damage.
Do I see where the poke came from?
It feels like it was like in your rib.
Yeah. I've got to take the corpse armor off.
It falls to the ground and starts kind of like flailing for a minute, like it still is trying to hold on to that last bit of unlife before it.
So I'll kind of kick it a little bit. I'm like, well, this is your mess, Triss. Just remember when you say that my dietary habits are a little strange, just remember again, you raised them and then you had them eat each other.
They didn't have them eat each other. They decided that on their own.
I don't know. You're the one with the staff and in control. I just do like a giant thing of air quotes.
I'm going to whap you with the staff in a minute if I can reach the top of your head.
While you're saying that, I'm just fingers and ears like walking in.
Something free will.
So,
play zombies.
Triss, what are you doing with your zombies?
Stop doing that.
They stop and look over at you for a moment. And one of them just obeys.
Okay. So now I can control basically.
Sorry.
Right. The other one, looks at you for a minute and looks back at the body that's fallen, looks at you for a minute, looks back at the body that's fallen, and just dives in face first. And you see the others just start to sort of hoard their way over there, much like a Romero film.
I tell the two that are on my side, get over here, and then thunderwave the rest of them if frickin' Astral will let me. Send to chat. Come on, make it happen. The spell's probably gonna show up like 4 times.
Just as Gix walks in to eat, you all hear boom off in the distance.
I just kind of shake my head. I'm like, that's unexpected.
Eric looks over. Is that? Should I be worried?
I have a feeling, based on the discussion of oops, we raised way too many zombies, that some of them are no longer friendly.
I'm gonna go check on Triss.
And when I say that, I'll point at my torso of I'm not wearing the corpse armor anymore because all of a sudden it was a little hungry.
Oh, they're hungry, dead?
Yeah, they're eating each other dead.
He gets up and says, I better come give you a hand.
Well, I thunderwave some of them. It was the first one. Of course, it gets sent 3 times because Astral.
Yeah.
Right. So you thunderwave them, and it's just body parts kind of everywhere.
Yeah.
Blam.
It's like fireworks.
Cleaning this mess up.
Corpse fetty.
Yeah. That's a cantrip waiting to happen.
Yeah.
And
doesn't do any damage, but everybody who gets hit by it just goes.
Takes 1d4 psychic damage if they fail a wisdom check.
As the rest of you sort of walk out to the edge here, let me just pull up a map.
Sorry.
Can't just use the staff to put them back?
It won't let me control more than 2 of them now. Like I meant to.
Well?
Each of your turns, you use bonus action to mentally command any creature you make with a spell. Creature blah 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 blah. I'm reading the spell. Use to control 2 additional undead. Animate or reassert control. Okay, so if I use the staff at a higher level, 2 additional creatures. So wow. Yeah, I think I can control half of them if I just use more charges.
Well, they very much exploded.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Any that I couldn't have caught all 18 of them in a 15-foot cube. So, I'm guessing.
It seems to have sort of wafted through the group. That's the goodish news.
The goodish news?
The good adjacent news.
Okay.
What, did we get like teleported somewhere or some shit now?
No, we're just outside, I think.
Oh, I was like, oh god, the thunder wave activated some bullshit. Now we're on another plane again.
Oh, I hope not. I think we're just outside. In the rain. Because it's raining for some reason.
You're outside. It shouldn't be raining. Let me fix that. Turn that rain off for you.
I do love that Astral lets you do weather effects. It's just so fun. Thankfully, it doesn't let you make blood rain, although I'm sure that will be a feature that they will add eventually.
I hope so. Get in there real quick.
/ rain color. Fucking red.
So you all sort of step out, and you see this. Like, they popped, like, way more than you would have expected when you dropped that thunder wave.
I should have only done like 15 points of damage.
Yeah, it shouldn't have been. They shouldn't have been quite as explosive.
I don't like this.
And as you step out and you all sort of take a look at it, you see the various bits of flesh start to crawl toward one.
Oh, God.
Eric says, well, that's not normal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's kind of par for the course for us.
Yep. Well, thank you for your hospitality. Here's the part where we fuck up your life.
What's just
Exciting.
Be a big zombie? I'm not that worried about it. And just about the time that he says that, you see the sinew and the blood of these creatures start to, like, as the flesh is pulling itself together, the sinew starts forming like tentacles.
Spontaneous corpse golem. Fucking dandy.
It's
Can you control that?
He chuckles nervously. 1 second while I sift through some stuff.
Yeah. Curious how many did they all 18 of them, or what was left of the 18 of them go into this thing, or any of them still under my control?
16 of them. 2 of them are still under your control.
Oh, I've got the 2.
Oh, 3. You should have 3 because you have the 1 and then 2 more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Glad that's not us. Yeah.
And I can only control skeletons and zombies, not whatever that is.
Fleshtopus.
Yes, exactly that. Astrals
Keeping things interesting.
misbehaving a little bit. Apologize for the delay.
Bad news is we haven't taken a long rest yet, so if shit's about to hit the fan, it's going to really hit the fan.
We got cantrips left.
Yeah.
We've got a tiny wall of meat with our 3 zombies that I'll put adamantine on.
As it's pulling itself together, Eric says, I don't think that's necessarily an undead.
That's different.
Something messed with us, like a...
Does 19 on my Arcana let me know what kind of fucking thing this might be?
spontaneous golem, maybe.
Sure. As it's pulling itself together, and you see this form of tentacles and mouths appear in front of you. With a 19 on your Arcana check, you absolutely do recognize it.
What is it?
That's a safe response. A sigh. Definitely.
Yeah. I was kind of hoping, like, we could have the benefit of the doubt and be like, oh yeah, maybe it's not so bad, but
Just another ogre zombie. We already fought a bunch of them. We can do that again, right? No. It's the artwork.
It starts to howl.
Oh god.
Well, that's always good.
That's a lot of mouth.
You recognize this as a howling abomination.
oh, neat.
These are thought to be fearsome creations of the Titan Golgotha or Gormoth, maybe Mesos. Howling abominations derive their name from the wild screeches and ululations that emerge from their churning mass when it grows agitated. It's making those noises right now. The abomination itself is unstable and incapable of existing on the material plane for more than brief moments at a time, constantly shifting in and out of phase. The true size and shape of the creature cannot be determined if it is indeed a singular creature, but the distortion that marks its presence is quite large, roughly 5 to 10 feet above the ground. There, a roiling distortion in space sprouts tentacles in the jaws and mandibles of numerous large predatory creatures, or in this case, zombies, undead, and other icky flesh.
This is bad.
Perfect.
Yeah, so the Howling Abomination was one of the things that I was excited that we'd eventually run into in our previous campaign. Give you an idea.
You mean when we were level 15, not level 5? That campaign? Yeah. I'm glad we got this NPC with us who might not suck. I don't know. I'm scared.
So,
I'm sorry, guys.
as
I keep
the
things interesting, at least.
Howling Abomination pulls itself together, and you all look at it, and Eric's eyes are sort of like blackened over as he's looking up and down. He goes, "Oh shit, that's going to be a problem."
I'm like, I know what this is. We should probably get inside. We don't want to be outside with this thing.
So we can't leave it out here.
Well, I mean, we also can't fight it right now either. We're like a day and a half without rest.
It is a fort. We could close the door.
That's a great idea. Get inside.
Yeah.
I'll say the only problem is that it kind of is like in between planes, so it might not give a fuck about the walls.
Oh, goody.
So be ready for
Help
that.
the GM with that information. Yes.
Yeah.
Does he tell me that now as he's locking the door?
Yeah.
I mean, it's better than us being out there. At least we have a home field advantage out here, and we can.
Yeah, on the way out, I use the staff to, like, the adamantine armor guys to the 3 zombies, go sick him, and then run away.
Oh man, I don't have a slot. I was like, I would really like that corpse armor.
So you get inside, and Eric bars the door, and he opens like a sliding like porthole to look out through. And you see the 3 Marrow Knights that were guarding the front run up to it and just get systematically ripped to shreds as they approach it.
It bought us a little time.
Yeah, they eat one multi-attack and they're fucking dead.
He sighs, and his eyes like go black again, and you see your 3 zombies pretty much get systematically ripped to shreds. And the remaining skeletons and zombies that are able to get outside all sort of mob this thing. And you watch for about a minute as this mob starts tearing at the Howling Abomination. And it phases in and out a couple times during the fight. Its shrieks sort of fading and then growing more pronounced. But I'm sorry?
I've got 1 call lightning left.
I mean, you can drop it if you want to. That's up to you. Go ahead and give me a perception check. Let's have Millie give me a perception check, and let's have Triss give me a perception check. Did you have something you wanted to ask about?
Yeah, I was going to say, would helping actually help, or are we better off just staying the fuck out of the way? I ask Eric.
He shrugs. I've never fought one of these things before.
Yeah. In that case, I'm in an upper floor window, you know.
Yeah.
All right. Triss, you're just kind of watching this horror unfold and aren't really able to make heads or tails of what's happening, partially because of the perpetually roiling and shifting nature of the creature.
Yeah, I can't get if I called lightning, I'd hit the zombies as much as I'd hit the monster. That's what you're saying. Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Millie, you don't know why, but the very presence of this thing is causing immense discomfort. Nausea.
Don't like that.
Cramping, numbness in your limbs. Like it's... and it grows more intense like when you look at it. Like it.
We're inside now, right?
You are inside, yes.
I hide.
You hide, very good. Let's get perception checks from let's get an Arcana check from Gix. Let's get a perception check from Cheshire and from Jedryn. And Jedryn, let's go ahead and have yours at advantage because you are at a vantage point.
Yeah, I know basically everything this creature can do, so I need to separate what I know from what
we want to stay away from it. Yeah,
I got exactly the same roll on advantage.
Right.
I hit a 19 on my Arcana, so.
Cheshire, you're just like looking through this slot. Like, that's fucked up. Like that's
what happened to I thought like people, not whatever the hell that is.
It sort of reminds you of, like, you get just the briefest thought crosses your mind of, I wonder if that's what's inside when I call the hunger of Hadar.
Are you friend? No, that's not friend. No, never mind.
Korggix, you realize that two things. One, chances are very good that if this is in fact just a vanilla howling abomination, the zombies are probably slowing it down at best. And yes, it's probably going to be able to get in through those walls once it gets done being occupied, if it holds your interest long enough, or if you hold its interest long enough, and if it doesn't just get sucked to a random plane.
Yeah, because isn't it? So with that, would I understand that it's basically under the effects of the spell permanently? It's causing its phasing.
Yeah, it's like it's as if it's under a blank spell.
Yeah.
And you recognize from your vantage point, Jedryn, that as it is, it's hard to tell because this thing doesn't have a solid shape, but you're pretty sure that as it is devouring these undead, it's getting bigger.
Shit.
Yeah. Eric, back off your crowd. Try to draw it away with them.
Can do.
Yeah.
I feel so bad.
He shouts, "Get off my lawn!" And they start to go, and I'll go ahead and give him a deception check. Seems as good a roll as any, right?
Yeah. Persuasion. Persuade the howling abomination to move.
Gix, how fast are those things?
Yes.
Okay.
Speedy. They are.
Speedy.
Yeah. I think under the effects of a permanent blink spell, it would allude to some speed. Just
50 foot. No. Yeah, 50 foot speed.
Yeah. Okay.
Hooray!
Okay, so there's no outrunning the thing either.
Well, would I know about its coup de grace if it's defeated in combat?
Yeah, absolutely. You know,
all right, I will also explain to that. Well, don't worry, because when it dies, it also explodes.
Oh, great.
That's the real fun part. So, yeah. If we can get it to go away, though, that would be good. If it just fucks off in the middle of the Festering Fields, I'm sure it'll find all kinds of stuff to keep it occupied. The problem is if it's actually growing, it might end up being a problem anyway down the road.
It absolutely falls for the ruse and starts fucking off where the zombies are leading it. Eric says, "Oh, whew. That was close."
So sorry.
Yeah, no kidding. What?
Well, here's the problems that I now foresee. That ruse is only going to last for so long, and if it gets pissed off and comes back, and we're gone, and you're here alone, that's super bad. And you just sent like your entire station with it, didn't you?
No, about half.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that we kind of pack our shit and we all go to Hollowfaustian together.
I can't.
I don't feel right leaving you here with that.
How smart are those things? Is it smart enough to find it? Does it like want things, or does it just kind of do stuff?
I think it's kind of on the it just does stuff is what I want to say as a player, but I'm pretty sure it has higher intelligence than Gix. So take that with
Eric
Why
says,
can't you go back?
I'm pretty sure most things do, to be fair. So
says, I was assigned to this. I made some mistakes, and that's how I went up with this assignment. So,
yeah, that doesn't mean that you should have to take this on alone, especially since we brought it to you. I think before we go to Hollowfaustian, we need to...
Would this help? I said, holding the staff.
He says it wouldn't hurt. Did you ask what kind of mistakes, Millie?
Mm-hmm.
He says, I used necromancy in a way that was counter to what the council has approved. And so they sent me out here to work out the rest of my days in lieu of forfeiture.
What did you do that they didn't approve of?
What's forfeiture?
Handing over my body.
Ew. And then Millie's question.
It's a long story, and it's kind of personal. I don't, no offense.
We're not here to intrude.
But I do think we should say, I'll say looking over, this is definitely our fault.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
and when he says that, I just look at Triss and I just pretend to, I won't even pretend. I will pull out some of my jerky and be like, look at how much trouble this is getting me in right now.
I mean, if we're going to stay, we probably shouldn't wait until it gets bigger.
Right. I think what we need to do is collect up our forces and then kind of figure out a game plan. But I think we need a little bit of time because I'm fucking spent. Yeah. I don't know about you.
This thing
8 hours, and that thing will just be gigantic.
No long rest.
This thing is extra planar? Is that what you're telling me?
Mm-hmm.
It definitely doesn't like to be in the same place for very long. Let's put it that way.
Well,
could it go back where it came from?
I can activate the wards on the building. That should give us enough time to at least rest up.
Okay.
While you're resting up, I can do some research.
I still elect that we take watch too, just in case. I know you have a garrison of undead, but I don't know.
Whatever makes you comfortable.
Thing's not exactly sneaky. I think we can leave it to his guys.
He cuts his hand open and starts running around and slapping walls, basically. Where he slaps the wall, you see like an arcane pattern start glowing.
Yeah.
I just don't want this thing to just be like, "Hi, I'm in the middle of this room now, and we're all asleep." That's the only problem.
He while he's putting the wards up, he says, "Millie, you want to come give me a hand?"
Sure.
Kind of walks around and is activating these words as he's speaking to you. He's trying to kind of get you away from the rest of the group.
I come out of hiding.
What's that?
I guess I come out of hiding.
All right. And he's talking quietly to try to keep people from overhearing. As I understand, you asked your question out of concern for your own safety and the safety of your family. So I'm happy to. Well, I'm not happy to. I don't want to talk about it, but short version is I raised a loved one without permission. I knew it. I raised them. I did not reanimate them. That is a big no-no in Hollowfaustian.
Well, they sound judgy.
The real question is where is the loved one?
They're not. There's laws, and necromancers can't break them.
Laughs and bye, friends.
And he starts.
We only Millie gets to learn.
Yeah,
only
she's
Millie.
walking off with knowing what he's talking about.
I gotta say though, as soon as you say something that you did a bad necromancy thing and the story is personal, that kind of tells the whole story itself.
Well, geez, I wish I would have known that, because I could have, spared myself the pain of reliving that memory. Thanks.
So you didn't really need my help, you just wanted to...
I mean, I've probably got 3 or 4 more wards in me before I start getting woozy, so if you want to help in that regard, that'd be great. But I'm not going to, make you.
Help you not be woozy?
Yeah.
Just like a regular healing spell cover that?
Oh, I suppose. I was just going to cut your hand, but yeah, that'd help.
Oh, no.
Do I see them pull their hand back? I'm like,
yeah, they're across the room.
Yeah, because if I see that, I'm going to work my way over.
Well, then I will take a healing spell if you have one.
I do.
Yeah, no, I cast Cure Wounds.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. Slice.
we have the Scrag who can just regen in water. So if you have a pond,
or a bucket.
Yeah. We have the geyser.
Or the cannon.
We got all the room for rewards.
So you spend about the next 15 minutes bleeding into wards everywhere. And that's where we'll wrap things up for this week.
Oh, jeez. That time went by fast.
So you are currently sort of hunkered down in this keep. There's a howling abomination outside that is crafted from undead tissues. And I will leave you with this thought, Gix. You're pretty sure everything you know is what you know about quote-unquote standard howling abominations, right? With your roles, you are absolutely smart enough and have enough knowledge to know that you have no fucking idea how the necromantic energies of the Festering Fields might have altered that creature.
Right. And it's
Fun.
growing in size as it fucks with more undead.
Right.
So, for all we know, there could be...
It may not play by the same rules.
Right, yeah.
So I'll let you bake on that for the next week.
Dandy.
Any questions?
Wait until instead of exploding and dealing a bunch of damage, it's just going to explode and turn us all into half undead or some shit.
Right, turn you all into dampiers. All right, so any questions, comments, complaints, or concerns about this week's session?
I made things interesting.
I was going to say many, but they're all in game. So
Nice.
I did my job. I made plot happen.
I appreciate it. Excellent. Well, that being the case, then let's go ahead and do our outros. Let's start things off today with Millie. You've gotten. I tried to give you a little bit of center stage this week. Push that plot a little forward. I know we talked about introducing some things, so please go ahead and tell us who you are, what you do, who you're playing, pronouns, and where we can find your stuff.
Hello, my name is Ayli. My pronouns are she, her, and I play Millie, the angelic tiefling ranger, whose pronouns are she, they. I'm a fetish model. You can find me on Twitter at Kitty Curiosity. I'm also part of an X-rated D&D group. We sometimes do safe for work stuff now. We're called Roll for Seduction.
You got a Twitch channel now, right?
Yeah, we've got a Twitch channel up, and we've got a steady Twitch stream going on like every other Saturday now, as well as we do a few one-shots every once in a while. But, yeah, so check us out at Roll for Seduction. You can find us on Twitter at Roll Seduction or online at rollforseduction.com. But only check us out if you're over the age of 18, pretty please.
And if you're not 18 yet, wait, you will be. Time has a fun. It's a linear thing. It goes in a certain direction, at least as far as us and the law are concerned. So just wait a little while and you'll be all right. Next up, because I'm not actually looking at Twitch at the moment, we'll go ahead and do Jedryn. Give us your pertinence.
Hi, my name's Fran Stewart. I write and I edit and I do a bunch of other stuff. And these days I do a lot of that for the Scarred Lands, including Dead Man's Rust, which you can jump at on Backer Kit right now, I believe, and Frostlands of Fenrilic, which my wife Sarah is waving. And we also co-authored a really fun Scarred Lands novel, Vigilant Through Shadows and Dreams, Book 1, where we created a character who we torture pretty much the way that Travis regularly tortures us.
Yep.
You can find me as Francis Stewart wherever fine ebooks are sold, especially on drive-thru. And you can find me as Francis Stewart on social media, except on Twitter, where I am at Ronalyn Valor. So step up and say hi.
Beautiful. And next up, let's hop over to your lovely wife, Sarah. Sarah, please give us your pertinence.
I am Sarah Stewart. I play Triss. Triss is she, her. I am she, they. Triss is a troublemaker. We talked about this before the game of me using the staff, so I think I prepared Travis to do something horrible to us as a result.
I would love to take credit as if I were prepared, but obviously,
well, you came up with that really fast, so that was amazing. And I wrote all those things that Fran mentioned. You can also find our website. Did Fran mention the website? morethicisindustries.com. Is where you can find our website and our additional contact information and a list of all of the things we did in 2020. And yeah, that was awesome, Travis.
Thank you. I'm glad you had a good time. I had a lot of fun with it. I'm looking forward to next week. I can't wait to see the look on Jeremy's face. Next up, that brings us to Cheshire. Cheshire, please give us your pertinent.
Hi, so I'm Chaz, he, him, same as Cheshire. I'm a PhD student who studies video games and musical storytelling. When I'm not doing that, I am DMing. I DM on Jeremy's channel at WH Publications on Twitch, a Final Fantasy 14 inspired D&D game. And this week is actually going to be the third week of Scion for me on the Onyx Path. The second day in our adventure where the group has taken on a massive conglomeration as they attempt to become as gods through this three-part miniseries. That is 9 p.m. Eastern. So please check it out. It is an amazing group. So yeah.
Yeah, I had the occasion to tune in for the first episode. I don't always get to watch all of our Twitch programming just because there's a lot of it. But I did have that on in the background, and I was cracking up. I'm glad to see that group come together. So definitely Wednesdays 9 Eastern. Be at the Onyx Path channel to check out Scion Become as Gods. It's a lot of fun. Speaking of Scion, Dragon and Mass of the Mythos are both still on Kickstarter for about 9 days. They're at $140,000 or some shit like that on a $30,000 goal. So I think they just unlocked their 18th stretch goal. Now is the time to hop in on that and get you all types of good stuff when you go and support that on Kickstarter. Looks like a lot of fun games. It's really, I really dig the idea of taking kind of the concept of Scion and moving it outside of its norms. So you're working on either like the heirs of dragons or people that are tied to the Cthulhu mythos. So really kind of a cool spin on the basic Scion idea. Definitely hit Kickstarter and check that out. And then that brings us last, yes, but not least, Tric. Go ahead and give us your
right.
please.
I have to talk about myself, yes.
You do, a little bit.
I was just sitting here hanging out. I am Tric, or the Hair Tric, because cosmic puns and horror, cosmic horror, and I can speak are funny, yes.
I bet you would dig the shit out of
if you're all about
Fran,
that, my Twitch stream is for you. But yeah, so cosmic horror and puns are great. I'm Tric, or the Hair Tric. I play Gix, who is he, him, just like I am. Gix is an 8-foot-tall puppy dog Scrag that is in Yugman's Guide to Gelspad Part 2.
Oh, it's Yugman's Guide to Gelspad complete now. That's out. The whole book is out.
Yeah, well, there you go. So go get the whole thing, because it's awesome. Even though I didn't do anything with it, I've been enjoying the hell out of the Scrag, so... make sure to check that out. I have a Patreon for D&D writing. I just put up a bunch of spells at the beginning of this month. Not all of them, but a bunch, with a poll if people are interested in like how I should format those uploads. And working on the class, waiting for some formatting on a subclass, working on another language. I'm trying to figure out how to like showcase that on the Patreon if people are even remotely interested in that type of nerdery. Like, here, you want to see how you make a language? Then
if you want to get into some like deep nerd Tolkien type language.
Yeah. But other than all that, over on the Patreon, I do stream on Twitch, a variety streamer. I've been playing lots of Dead by Daylight and working on some YouTube stuff. Finally getting the format figured out, but it's variety, but I try to keep the conversation centered around level design when the point is to be made. And mainly as of late in Dead by Daylight, it's just hire an actual level designer and stop auto-genning your levels, because there's a lot of problems. But yeah, if you're interested in that, then throw me a follow over on the same thing, the Hair Tric at Twitch.
Sweet.
So.
Yeah, definitely check out Tric's Patreon. Lots of cool stuff coming. I get the privilege and pleasure of getting to see it a little bit early because I'm, working alongside him on some of this stuff. So that's super cool. I cannot recommend it highly enough. It's a lot of neat stuff coming out. So definitely check that out. And then Nifty, Badass, all those things apply.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it was Fran during the charity event stream. It's like, yeah, I cast Lightning Bolt, and then Tric's world is like, I cast Lightning Bolt, and the corpse expands and explodes and boils it. So, yeah.
Nice. I guess that leaves me. I'm Travis. Him. I'm the game master responsible for this shit show, and when I'm not running this one, I run other shit shows. Sometimes I run them over on Ayli's channel. Sometimes I run them here. What do I have to tell you about? Obviously, all the Scarlands things. I am the line developer for Scarlands, so I would recommend picking all those up. Particularly, Yugman's Guide to Gelspad is out. Definitely get Dead Man's Rest on BackerKit if you haven't. You can still, if you go to BackerKit and back it now, you still will get access to the manuscript right away. So you can start playing right away. You don't have to wait for the finished book to come out. All the materials are there for you. The other thing I wanted to mention is I also run my own company called Aegis Studios. Sometimes I don't talk about it nearly enough. So today I'm going to talk about it because this week we are running flash sales all week long on Aegis Studios products. Each day a new product will go on sale at 9 a.m. Central, roughly, and it will be on sale for 24 hours. Today's special is the Contagion Savage Adventures, which is I put the link in chat just there. It is a urban fantasy setting using the Savage World system. It's a lot of fun. The basic idea is that there's been this war between heaven and hell in the shadows for the last since the dawn of time, and right around 2012 or so, it became much less shadowy and much more out in the public view. And of course, you have, like you have in the real world, you have people who, despite the vast evidence that gods are walking around ripping the place up and monsters are around and vampires exist, just don't believe it. They think it's a big hoax. And then you have others that are trying to, stand and fight against the darkness, and others who are trying to be the darkness. You can play any of those. And it's using the Savage World system, which I love. It's fun, it's sleek, it's fast. And so that is 80% off in PDF until 9 a.m. tomorrow, when the next project will go on sale. So just keep an eye peeled for that. I'll be sharing those on my Twitter as they go live, but also if you just go to the Aegis Studios store page at DriveThruRPG, you'll be able to see what's next on the sales. Or if you go to the sale page, DriveThruRPG, you can check that out. I will be back here Monday for another episode of this, and then we will be returning the following Wednesday. I'm still working on some stuff. There's a little bit of shakeup in our cast because some of our lovely players are joining the Scion stream, and I am so happy to see them over there having a blast. So we're going to figure out some scheduling stuff. Chaz and I are going to have a street fight, and then when it's all said and done, we'll have a new schedule. But we will be here providing you with fun content. And this Wednesday, I'll be over at Roll Seduction doing Odysseys and Overlords, which I can almost guarantee will be one of the things that you'll find in a flash sale this week. I guess I've rambled enough. If you haven't yet done so, please follow this channel, subscribe, follow along its path and subscribe if you haven't done so. And we will see you this time next week. Wear your masks, wash your hands, get vaccinated.
Can.
If you can.
Everybody.
Yeah. Absolutely. Keep waving because you look smarter.
Bye-bye.
I think we're clear. If